Hold up. Yeah.
The things that this guy's blessed with, and to just take the chance of pissing it all away.
The hatred is real with these two, man.
He tested positive for something.
No opponent could hit me as hard as life hit me this summer.
When it comes to Jones, I say show me, don't tell me.
Despite rejection and the worst odds,
That was my rock bottom.
go all the way.
Just getting out there, feeling that feeling that I've learned to love.
If this guy can keep his personal life intact, he can go down the history books as the greatest ever. It's up to him.
Roll the dice. It's the only good fight there is.
It's time.
Do it. All the way. Rage, rage against the dying of the light.
He is once again the official UFC light heavyweight champion.
Jon, just come out and be the villain. Jon Jones is simply the best to have ever done it.
Jon Jones, welcome back.
I got a feeling I'm gonna be around for a long time.
He is unstoppable. Can't stop me now!
All the pressure, all the chaos, everything that has happened in your life. How good does it feel to be victorious, to have that UFC gold around your waist right now?
Everything worked out.
That's it.
The throne!
When the chips are down, he's not giving up. Just the way that he completely neutralized Gustafsson. It was a masterful performance.
This has been my era since 2011. I want to make that loud and clear.
Johnny Bones Jones.
Nobody has been there with me, doing the push-ups, running the miles, doing the sprints. This is hard-earned right here.
Jon Jones would be a nightmare at heavyweight.
I would love to keep him busy this year with all the great things that we have going on right now.
What are your thoughts now? What would you like to do next?
I know there's a guy who's been calling himself champ.
Biggest talk right now is Daniel Cormier's pending retirement. He gave us the expiration date, which signifies his 40th birthday.
I am still going to retire by the time I turn 40.
The heavyweight champion of the world is the king of the world in every sport, from Hulk Hogan to Muhammad Ali to Daniel Cormier. Whoever holds a heavyweight strap rules the world.
Cormier is the man. It is not time for Cormier to retire. There's big fights out there, legacy type stuff.
He is the UFC heavyweight champion. He's had a hell of a year.
For those that have been following your career, you have always been second place. You have always suffered heartbreak. You've been successful up until when it really mattered. And this year, to do what you did at 39, how do you explain this? Like, how does it happen this way? This is the stuff that like movie writers, script writers, directors, they can't even dream of this.
DC has done nothing but followed all the rules. He has not screwed up. He's been a great role model for the UFC.
Unbelievable. You're the fighter of the year. To do that at 39, but to make history and win the heavyweight title and successfully defend it.
Blows my mind how good he is. That human being is built from something different.
A two-division simultaneous champion who has now successfully defended both belts. His legacy is protected.
The champ, ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Cormier. Let's go! Let's go! 2 belts, one on each shoulder, baby. Thank you for blessing me, Dana White. I thought I was just getting one.
By the time I turned 40, March 20th, 2019, I'm out.
Should the story end that way? Yes, I'm well aware that things do change. But should the story end that way?
Daddy's home, DC.
I'm the guy that's been here this whole time. 3 years, been the light heavyweight champion because this dude can't stay out of trouble.
Prove to the fans you're a champ.
Every time we fought, he's tested positive for something.
Come get a taste. I'm here.
But at the end of the day, I'm a competitor. I like to fight.
Get your belt back.
I've lost 2 fights in my career, and they're both been to him.
He'll be waiting right here.
He's the only guy that's shown an ability to compete with me in the octagon.
Here you are with Jon going back and forth saying our time will come.
It means a lot to me to win that fight.
What do you mean?
Completion, right? Because he's the only guy that's beaten me.
You are no longer a double champ. You are no longer the light heavyweight champion.
Jon Jones wins the title that you relinquished.
Does the fight against DC happen, the third fight? And which weight class does it happen? How do you feel now seeing your rival holding the title that you once owned?
What guy just gives up his belt because somebody else made it home?
You'd fight him again?
Oh yeah, I'd fight him again.
History in the making, Daniel Cormier, one of the greatest of all time.
DC is no champ.
You guys are without a doubt the 2 best light heavyweights on the planet Earth.
He made it clear right away. He said,
Daddy's home, DC.
Great fighters need
great fighters. It's always been the case.
The hot fight that everybody wants to see is Jones versus Daniel Cormier, that third fight.
DC is the champion at heavyweight. Jones has to come up and take his belt.
How can you walk away from not doing that fight a third time? It has to happen.
I've been sober. I haven't been suspended. I didn't get stripped from my championship.
I do believe we are going to see Daniel Cormier versus Jon Jones Part 3.
The way that he called out DC, that is home. Come get your belt, DC. It does give Jon the opportunity to beat him a third time. It also gives DC the opportunity to beat him.
When you hate somebody that bad, it brings the worst out in you.
Daniel Cormier.
What's up, Danger?
I'm willing to die to beat you. Know that.
It's everything that's great about MMA.
Jon Jones. Here we go. I'm here with the winner, Jon Jones.
Think about how goddamn good DC is. And think of Jon stunning him and then putting him away. All the crazy shit. Almost went to jail. He crashed into a pregnant lady's car.
A lot has changed since then. I'm here to stay. I got a lot more in me.
Dismantle DC. Dismantle Gustafsson.
When LeBron James has a bad day, they pull his ass out of the game. When Tiger Woods has a bad day, he comes in 12th. When Jon Jones has a bad day, he walks out of there with world championship.
What Cormier has done at both heavyweight and light heavyweight, yeah, he hasn't beat Jon Jones. Nobody else has either.
DC needs to admit to the people that he was never the light heavyweight champion.
After losing to your rival, viciously KO'd for the first time in your career, crying on national television, you have just got to find a way to get back on your feet and answer the call one more time. And he went out there and he showed what he was made of.
I'm going to do whatever DC wants to do. Daniel Cormier has been an incredible champion for us.
Undefeated at heavyweight. He's a former world champion from Strike Force.
He's a tank.
DC could still beat him. I really believe that.
DC's world class. His wrestling is just so next level. Who the fuck else is a two-time world champion in 2 divisions and also a commentator? This fight is what all of the great MMA fights are all about. The 2 very best light heavyweights in the world with so much to prove. And the only way you get tested is by another champion.
It's something that's bound to happen.
Jon Jones versus Daniel Cormier does huge business. We know that because it's done huge business twice, and if you put it at heavyweight, you add that added dimension.
Are you interested in that fight? I mean, it seems like it would be one of the biggest fights you could possibly make.
Cormier will fight anybody. You know Cormier.
This rivalry has been going on for a long time, but does this rematch feel like it's taking forever to get?
Jon Jones has to be one of the most complete fighters. Wrestling, his striking, his jiu-jitsu, his ability to get position. This is quite possibly the smartest fighter as far as the champions go. The way that he can adjust and adapt and he can see what you're doing out there.
DC's got some tricks too, you know.
He's landing clean shots, standing on the ground all around.
He's gone to 2 different weight classes. He's never pulled out a fight.
He finally accomplished everything from crying in this very same octagon last year to becoming the UFC heavyweight champion. It is the most amazing thing.
What a born competitor. There's a real lesson to be learned from Cormier. From the depth of his worst defeat, he got up, dusted himself off, took a deep breath, and came back out here. What a man Daniel Cormier is. And looks to be ready to take on the next challenger, including another fight with Jon Jones. What a man he is.
Let Jones come up and fight it.
And this is a big challenge. DC is not a quitter.
DC is the heavyweight champion. I would love to see what Jon Jones looks like at a heavyweight. Why not go try to take Daniel Cormier's heavyweight title?
I never knew what I could become, but tonight I got the answer. I'm a 2-division champion, baby!
It's never over. As long as you never quit, it's never over.
You made it back. Now, Jon, there's been a lot of talk about you potentially fighting as a heavyweight.
Cormier versus Jon Jones.
Are we ever going to get to see the 3rd installment of that fight?
They are going to fight again.
It sounds to me like Cormier's ready to fight 2 or 3 more fights before he thinks about hanging it up.
Jon, wait for the boom. Wait for the boom moment.
Rage against the dying of the light.
We might see it at heavyweight.
Can you hear that, Jon?
DC versus Jon Jones.
We're going to blow your minds again.